Let's talk sobriety, coming from literally the biggest party girl that I have ever known. I don't know anyone that parties more than I do. Or has partied more than I do, and I've been doing all this shit fucking sober, so let's talk about it. If you've never met me, my name is Danielle Toodle. I own an underground rave collective here in LA, which means that I am at the afters literally till 6, 7, sometimes 10 a.m. in the morning, multiple times a week.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad! You keep digging!
Outside of that, I also DJ, I do content creation. I am always out and about talking to people, socializing, and again, I have been doing all of this shit sober, and it has been quite a journey. I asked you guys what your questions were for me on Instagram, and I'm just going to be going through and answering all of the questions one by one. But to start, let's just go over my definition of sobriety, my timeline, what brought me here, you know? To start, I have been someone that has been sober curious for a very long time. I started drinking at the age of 15. Don't know my parents. And I have been the heaviest drinker ever since. Like, I was never someone that would just have like 2 or 3 drinks. Like, it takes me legitimately like 6 or 7.
I got this.
Full-size drinks for me to feel like tipsy or drunk, and I was always someone that could outdrink every single man. I could outdrink all my boyfriends. Like, I was always the heaviest drinker in the group, and I guess I say was, like, I probably still am. And throughout my life, I have been in therapy since I was 18 years old, and always I would be sitting there in the chair looking at my therapist being like, I need to be sober, this lifestyle isn't sustainable for me, I feel like shit, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, whatever. And me and the therapist are just looking at each other. We both know what needs to happen, but I'm not doing it. Now, throughout the course of my life also, I have been to AA, court mandated. No, I don't have a DUI. No, I don't drink and drive. No, I don't condone drinking and driving. Okay, don't be stupid. But I was court mandated to go to AA. That's a story for another day. And to be honest, I never really resonated with the messaging that wasn't AA. I think because a lot of it is kind of like tied to God and religion, and as a former Catholic, I'm pretty much an atheist. Maybe you could say I'm agnostic now, but I am just not a religious person. I'm also gay as fuck, so that's kind of, you know, part of it. But I was never really super resonating with the STEP program, with the sponsor. I also remember that when I went to meetings, keep in mind these were in Virginia, so I'm sure it's super different in LA, but I would show up in just like Nike running shorts and like a tank top, and I would literally get dress coded because they're like, you shouldn't be wearing that around here. Like, guys are gonna be looking at you. And I was like, why are guys looking at me like when I'm an 18-year-old wearing Nike shorts? You know? Anyways, the third reason that I didn't really resonate with AA was that all the stories that people told there were so like wretchedly heartbreaking that in my head I was like, well, I am definitely not an alcoholic. I am definitely not that. I am nothing like you guys. I remember there were stories of moms that were 10 years sober and they woke up in a bathtub with like a bottle of gin on the side. Their baby had been taken away. Their house was on fire and they lost everything, and then they were like homeless because they were so addicted to alcohol. And there were so many stories like that. And I'm not saying every alcoholic has a story like that, for sure. At the time, like, there was no TikTok. I didn't watch YouTube. Like, this was the only information that I had about what alcoholism looked like. At the time, I didn't really think I had like addiction that ran in my family. And so all throughout my life, I was like, okay, well, I'm not like those people, so I'm good. I'm good. But still, I wasn't satisfied with my relationship with alcohol. And even in my diary that I've literally had since 2011, like, I have had this damn journal for like 15 years. There is some juicy fucking gossip in there, by the way. But whenever I read back through my journal, there's so many entries of just like, I feel like shit, I'm so depressed, I don't want to be like this, I know I need to be sober, I need to be sober, I need to be sober, because again, I was drinking so much all the time, especially in college. I feel like that's a good segue into the first question. This is from Pavika. They asked, what is the moment that you realized something needed to change? Guys, this is so stupid, but I went to Base Canyon for work. I was covering this festival for my company. Like, the LA Raver is an underground rave company, but it's also a media company. So myself and my social media assistant flew out to Washington, this festival, Base Canyon. I had the best time there, but I have kind of graduated from bass music to being more of a house head, so I typically wouldn't go to like an all dubstep festival, but I also own a dubstep collective, so I went there to kind of like reignite my love for bass music, which I definitely did. I had so much fun, but I also drank like 3 beatboxes per day on top of tons of tequila shots, seltzer. Like, I was just really partying crazy because I don't know. I think because I didn't automatically connect with the music that was playing, like, I felt the need to drink and whatever. I got super drunk, and again, I had the best time, but I was hungover for literally an entire week, to the point where I was just like, oh, I'm definitely about to get sick, I'm definitely about to get a cold, I'm definitely about to get the flu. No sickness happened. I was just hungover. Like, I literally realized that I was just hungover for a full week, and it wasn't even like I just was tired going through life. Like, I was just dead in my bed laying there like a rotting corpse because I was so hungover. And I was reflecting and I realized that I had drank every single weekend for like the 5 months before base canning. This is in August. Like literally the entire summer, all of May, all of April, I was throwing 1 to 2 parties per weekend. And at my parties, I was always partying. I was always drinking. So I was drinking so much, guys. I was drinking so much, like probably 20 shots a weekend. And that's like not even exaggeration. And if you're a raver, I feel like you can relate where like it's not that much. Like when you go to a rave, like everybody's drinking a lot. When you're in the afters, everyone's drinking a lot. But to an outsider looking in, like that's fucking crazy. Like I was doing 20 shots a week and like no break, no weekends off. I was literally drinking the entire time. So I think base canning just kind of set me over the edge and my body was like, girl, we cannot keep doing this. So I committed to doing 1 month sober, and at the time I also started seeing a new therapist. As I mentioned, every time I'm sitting in therapy, we're always saying the same thing. I'm like, my lifestyle is unsustainable. I don't want to drink like this. I don't want to be partying like this. Like I don't want to live my life like this, but it's hard because I'm surrounded by it all the time. I have to stay up till 7 a.m. I'm literally at the afters from 8 p.m. till 7 a.m. Like I don't get to leave early if I'm tired. I don't get to be low energy. Like everyone's at the party. A huge part of my brand is me as like an influencer. So like I have to be smiling. I have to be like energetic. I have to give everyone like 100% of my energy the whole time. And in my head, I was like, there's no way I can do this sober. But as I was working with this therapist, I don't know what it was about her, because obviously I had gotten this message over and over and over across the past 10 years that I've been like, I don't want to live like this. But she said something to me that really stuck out. She had told me that like all the things that happened to me, and I'm not going to go into it, but just like quick trigger warning, relating to sexual assault like on the job, she basically told me like these things are not your fault and like they shouldn't have happened to you, but if you want to feel safe at your events and in life in general, the only way that you can guarantee that is to be sober. And I don't know why, like something in my brain just clicked where I realized that every single time that I was in a dangerous situation, like I was kidnapped by an Uber driver, again, the SA stuff, like all of these things that have happened to me throughout my entire life, there was always alcohol involved. And again, like she said, it's not my fault, right? The only reason for these kind of dangerous situations to happen is the person that was putting me in danger. But at the same time, I realized that if I take away the alcohol, I am going to have the highest likelihood of getting out of that situation unscathed, because I know my surroundings and now I'm not less of an easy target. And of course that is so sad, and that's something that I've had to grieve a little bit because it's not fair, right? Like I was always kind of sitting there like so jealous. I'm like, damn, like scary big men can go out and drink and they don't have to worry about like being followed home. They don't have to worry about being kidnapped. They don't have to worry about, you know, all of these kinds of things that I have to worry about, and that's why I can't party. But at the same time, unfortunately, she was so right, because I have never ever, I mean, knock on wood, but I have not felt that level of unsafe in the past like almost year that I've been doing this like whole sobriety thing. Okay, the next question is Tina. She said, literally how it's part of my daily routine, it's so hard to start. Yes, I kind of forgot that I didn't go through the whole timeline, so let's just go into it. After base canning, I committed to a month sober. I'm working with a therapist. After 1 month, I realized the whole safety thing. I was like super happy. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do another month. I did 2 months and I was planning on keeping it going, and I went to Berlin in Germany and I got into Berghain, which is like this really exclusive club. Like, I don't know, you can Google it. Most people like don't get in. It's like the strictest club in the world, whatever. So my friends didn't get in. I was the only person that got in. And again, that's like a story for another day. But when I went in there completely sober, I like obviously didn't really know what to do. So I'm like walking around, like people were coming up to me and talking to me, but like 2 different people at the club came up to me like, are you okay? Because I guess I just like looked like I was standing there. And I remember I was like texting my girlfriend and she was gonna be like meeting me in Berlin, and I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm so awkward. People are coming up to me and asking me if I'm good because I'm like acting weird. And she was like, bro, you're in Germany, you're in Berlin, like whatever, just go do a shot. And I was like, okay, yeah, period. So I went to the bar and I did a shot, nothing happened. I did another tequila shot, nothing happened. I literally had to take, again, 5 tequila shots to even be tipsy after 2 months of being completely sober, no substances, nothing outside of like just caffeine. Still, I needed like 5 shots. Anyway, so I drank in Berlin, no regrets whatsoever. I definitely felt like shit after, but it was like so much fun. I felt like everyone there was like really nice, and I don't know, I had a really good experience. So after that, this is like October, I did another 2 months completely sober, nothing. I'm not really like a big smoker, like I don't really do anything like that, so I was just whatever, raw dogging life. And then on New Year's Eve, I was with all my friends and I broke it again. So this is like 2 months, I broke it, 2 months, I broke it. I did another month of sobriety, and I know a month isn't like that impressive, but like just keep in mind that I was drinking so much. This is like I cut back my consumption by like literally 99% just by being like, I'm gonna do 1 month, I'm gonna do 1 month. And then I broke it on my birthday. Now it has been almost 6 months since my birthday, so this has been my longest consecutive streak. But to answer the question, I felt like just making small goals, like for example, from going, okay, I'm not gonna drink on weekdays. Okay, I'm not gonna drink one night of the weekend. I'm just gonna drink one time a week. I remember one of my coworkers at my first corporate job would do 1 week sober out of every single month. And that was something that he committed to for like his whole life. Even for me right now, like I am not putting pressure on myself to be sober forever because that's so daunting, you know, like that feels impossible to me. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna commit to doing another month. I'm just gonna commit to doing another weekend. Literally, I know this is so cheesy. This honestly is from AA, but it does work. But just like committing to one day. Like for example, for me, when I was at EDC, I was like, okay, day 1, I'm just committing to not drinking tonight. Then day 2, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna commit to not drinking tonight. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but tonight I'm not drinking. And that's how I kind of got through the whole 3-day festival. Okay, next question is from my girl Alice. She said, are you 100% strict with it, or will you make exceptions to toast or shot to celebrate? I'm not claiming to be 100% sober. Okay, I don't really want to talk about anything that's maybe not necessarily allowed, if you're catching my drift, but I have been saying I'm like maybe California sober, like Miami sober. I don't really know what you want to call it, but I am just committing to absolutely 100% no alcohol. Now I'm not going out on the weekends and doing a bunch of crazy shit, but when I was in Joshua Tree, like, you know, I took a little trip. I took like 2 hits of a joint for 420. When I was at EDC, I did like a little bit of whatever, okay? So I want to be really transparent about that. Like I have not been 100% sober this entire past 6 months, but in the times that I have partaken in a little trip or a little whatever, I think it's been 3 times out of the past 6 months. And I think that is like my exception. Like if I'm at EDC, I don't feel the need to be 100% sober. Like it's fucking EDC. And to me, the fact that I'm not drinking at fucking EDC where I used to drink 500 tequila shots, that's a win for me, okay? In terms of breaking it for a toast or a shot, like to me, I just don't really like see the point in that. If I have one drink, like nothing really like happens to me. So it just doesn't really make sense to just have like a shot or whatever. But we'll see in the future. I honestly really hope that I don't drink again. But at the same time, I'm holding space for a reality where maybe I do have like a drink here and there. I don't know. Hopefully not though. Okay, Melissa asked me, did you replace the habit? If so, with what? I drink a ton of caffeine. Like I sometimes joke, I'm like, I drink so much caffeine. Like I don't think this is healthier than sobriety. Like I think alcohol might be better for me than how much caffeine I drink. Like it's to the point where I literally went to go see a doctor because I was like getting so dizzy and like lightheaded. Like I would go to the gym and I would like literally have to sit down because I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm about to pass out. And I go to the doctor and they were like, you're drinking too much caffeine. So I would say that's kind of what I replaced it with. I started my whole sobriety journey. My girlfriend bought me like an espresso machine for my birthday, so I try to just drink 1 double espresso every day and then maybe have an energy drink. But like at the beginning of this whole sober thing, I was drinking so much caffeine. Like it's not good, guys. Like it's really not good. What were your support systems during your journey? I have been really grateful because I have this platform. Like especially at the beginning, I was always posting about sobriety to the point where people are like, we get it, like you're being annoying. And I was like, I know I'm being annoying, but if I don't post about it, I'm gonna go drink. So I feel like people don't offer me drinks. Like even when I went out to Vegas, my bottle girl had like seen my content and she didn't offer me champagne. Like everybody like knows that's around me. Like they don't offer me drinks, they don't pressure me, they don't bring it up. Like I never feel super weird about it. And if anything, I feel like it's inspired a lot of people around me in my life to also try like being sober here and there. Like I'll have people come up to me at the rave like, oh my god, I'm sober today, like for this rave because like you inspired me. So I am very, 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 very blessed that I low-key feel like I have a support system everywhere around me because I talk about it so much, which is great. How does your body feel being sober for about 6 months? I have been very transparent in the fact that not much has changed in my body because I am still going to afters twice a week. I am still going to raves. I don't work out. My sleep schedule is horrible. Like I go to bed at like 3 a.m. and I wake up at 11 a.m. every day. Like nothing in my life has changed besides the alcohol. So in terms of my body changing and like my skin or whatever, I feel like everything is pretty much the same. I know a lot of people that go sober and they start hitting the gym and they start doing all these things. They go outside, they go to the beach, like whatever. And I love that for them. But like, unfortunately for me, that's just like not my vibe. I don't know. But I feel like the biggest change has been my mental health, like mental clarity. I feel like I can keep track of everything. Like I used to have an assistant that would literally harass me. Like I told her to harass me, like lovingly. She would harass me every single day. Like you forgot this, you forgot this, forgot this all day. And I always felt like I was drowning in work. Like I was so stressed out. Like I couldn't handle the workload of like owning my own business. Like it was all too much. And once I became sober, I realized like, no, I mean, my job is hard, but like the reason I felt like that was because I was just like continuously hungover. Like I was always hungover. I remember the days after my event was like, don't talk to me. I'm not doing any payouts. Like, I am out of office. I'm recovering. And I thought it was because of the stress of the event, but like I was just hungover. So now after my event, for example, my Pride afters, I literally slept for 2 hours, woke up, put on makeup, went to the Pride parade, had so much fun, went back and still completed my work because it's not the lack of sleep, it's not the stress of the party, it's just the alcohol. Okay, same question. This is from K-Dog. Have you noticed any difference in your skin or body? I actually started doing microneedling. I had like 2 sessions and my skin is so good now from that. I can't really say whether that was like drinking or not. I feel like maybe I look a little less puffy, but honestly I look back on videos and I think I look the same, so honestly no. Okay, this one's a really good one. This is from Antelope. How does life not get boring? Other than keeping busy with daily life, how do you release? I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Sobriety makes life way more boring. It just does. Like, I still go out to raves, I still go out to concerts, but it's a completely different experience. Like, I feel like going out to a show feels so much shorter when I'm sober. Like, I feel like I get there, I experience it, whatever, I go home. Whereas when I was drinking, it felt like I was there for hours. I was raging, I was having so much fun, I was drinking, I was like, woo, so crazy or whatever. And whenever I reflect back on it, I think it's because the highs were so high and the next day the lows were so low. Like, the lows made the highs feel even higher. Whereas now, instead of ever feeling low, I'm just like always feeling pretty good, but I don't like spike up to this level of fun. And I love raving, I love music, I love spending time with my friends, so everything is still fun, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's just like a little bit more boring. It's a little bit more boring, but I feel like that sacrifice has been worth all of the amazing benefits that I've gotten from not being hungover, to the point where I don't really care. Like, I'd rather go out to the show and have it a little bit more boring and not have to sacrifice my entire next day and my entire week, 2 weeks basically, of my mental health just for like one night of fun. And the last question is, how do I release? I feel like I'm still like going to raves and dancing and going to afters and whatever, and that is still really exciting. Like, I own my own business, so that's really exciting, so I don't really feel the need to like, I don't know, release in another way. But I can't say I would feel the same if I was like working a normal job. Brian asked, would you date someone who is sober? I am. I've been very open about the fact that that is made sobriety so much easier, because every single time I go out with my girlfriend, she's sober too, I know we're both sober, I feel zero urge to drink. Because if anything, I feel like it would almost be weird to go out with a significant other and I'm wasted and they're sober, which we did do many times, like we've been dating for a while, but it just feels like way more natural for us to be both sober and then we're both just like having so much fun because, like, you know, we're in love and whatever. I do think that if I didn't have a sober partner, this would be a lot harder, because the only times I felt kind of tempted to drink or I feel a little weird that I'm sober is when she's not there and I'm around a group where every single person is drinking. So if you're having trouble with sobriety, find another sober person today and you will just end up being sober by being around them. 10 out of 10 recommend. Fans asked, what is your mantra going forward to keep you on the path? I don't know if I necessarily have a mantra. I feel like the whole mindset of just taking it day by day, like committing to not drinking that day, has been really helpful. And to be honest, as a raver, getting through EDC Las Vegas, literally being out from the beginning of the festival till the next day at the afters, I literally was there till 10 a.m. like all 3 days. Getting through that with no alcohol, I just keep telling myself, like, if you did EDC sober, like, you don't need to drink. Like, whatever it is that I feel like I need to drink, I'm like, oh my god, we're all going to a bar, I want to drink. I'm like, baby, if you did EDC sober, you can do this fuck ass bar event sober. Like, you can do anything sober. Like, I've never been surrounded by so many like drunk people and people on substances and whatever, and like I love when people like get drunk and are on substances, because then I feel like I can just kind of like let loose and be silly. So this is not like judgmental at all, but I've never been surrounded by it so much and chosen to be sober, which is pretty crazy. Those are the questions I have time to answer right now from Instagram. There were so many like loving and supportive messages, like, keep going, you got this, whatever. And I just want to say thank you. I hope this helps someone. I feel like my goal in talking about sobriety is proving that it doesn't have to be fucking boring. Like, you don't have to sit at home and like knit and crochet all day because you're sober. You can still be at the afters till 10 a.m. raging. In fact, you actually can go longer and hit up more raves and go to more shows when you're sober, because 1, you don't have to worry about Ubering, 2, you don't have to worry about getting a DD, and 3, you're less tired. Like, you can literally do anything. Like, sobriety has been a superpower in my raving journey and my overall music industry career. So if you're trying to be sober, you're thinking about being sober, you can do it. I'm on your side. My DMs are open for questions. I will always respond if I have time. And if you're still going to any local underground rave shows like my own, you should definitely definitely support the bar and buy Red Bull, because those drink sales are what keep us afloat. So if you go to one of my raves, you saw this video, and you're sober, you owe buying me a Diet Coke, okay? Love you!